The scene atop the Aldhani Dam serves as a brutal audit of the Imperial occupation as well as providing clarity for Gorn's motivations, surrounded by people for whom genocide is a punchline and a construction plan. Having previously seen the physical desecration of the shrine, we now witness the psychological erasure that accompanies it. The interaction between Lieutenant Gorn and Corporal Kimzi is framed as a mundane workplace break, a breath of fresh air away from the stale comms room, evidenced by the oversized headset hanging around his neck. But it quickly reveals the toxic atmosphere that permeates the garrison. Corporal Kimzi, hey, it's Nick Blood from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and trolleyed, represents a specific texture of Imperial evil, bored, a bit too chatty and deeply administrative. When he asks if they are tearing this all down to build an airbase, he treats the destruction of a sacred valley as a mere logistical rumour. They talk at cross purposes about the inspiring view. Gorn means the Aldhani landscape, Kimzi the dam that dominates it. To the Empire, geography is content to be managed, the history of the land is irrelevant compared to the utility of a runway. But it is Kimzi's casual racism that defines the stakes of the scene. His comment that there are still enough to smell 'em shifts the oppression from political to visceral. He views the indigenous Dhani population not as rebels or threats, but as a biological nuisance, an olfactory offense that prevents the valley from being clean. Lieutenant Gorn's role in this exchange is one of tragic restraint. As a double agent, he must endure the casual bigotry of his own men without breaking cover. The scene hinges on the duality of the line, "Can you imagine this place with a couple of thousand of them?" For Kimzi, this is a rhetorical nightmare, a vision of the valley overrun by the unwashed masses. For Gorn, however, it is a happy memory. Any good rebel would be cringing inside if forced to converse with a racist, but as we come to learn, he has a particular love for the Dhani and their culture. When he replies, "Yes, I can," he is not agreeing with Kimzi's disgust, he's acknowledging a history that Kimzi is too blinded by prejudice to see. Gorn remembers the valley when it was alive. We've briefly touched on the racism inherent in the Empire before with my interpretation of the Tego line. And why is the ISB 100% human anyway? But this is particularly fascinating because it's human-on-human racism. The Dhani are human, but they are treated as contaminants because they're indigenous, traditional, non-imperial, and inconvenient. In other words, the crime is being outside assimilation. Because the Dhani look like them, the Empire has to actively teach contempt, smell jokes, casual slurs, the normalization of disgust. That's what makes Kimzi chilling and sadly too bloody familiar. He's an ordinary functionary performing approved disgust for social bonding. Visually, the scene emphasizes the solitude of the collaborator. Standing against the vast empty backdrop of the mountains, Gorn and Kimzi look identical in their uniforms. The tragedy of Gorn is that he must wear the same face as the man he despises. He ends the conversation by ordering Kimzi back to his station, using the rigid hierarchy of the military to escape a social interaction that is tearing him apart. Gorn makes sure to take note of where Kimzi will be tomorrow though. Heists succeed because of stuff like this. Someone is at their desk at the right time, someone else is out for fresh air, and the wrong people think the view is inspiring.